no, actually, yeah, NQ means adding an element. So NQ is allowed if Q is empty. Yeah, if Q is empty. Actually, the case what you have written is wrong. I thought that it's a deletion. Actually, NQ is allowed here. If this is the situation, if front and if Q is empty, then no need to bother about. Okay, but we need to bother when Q is full. But how can I detect Q is full? Q is full. There are two cases which detects Q is full. There is actually one case where front is pointing to 0 and rear is pointing to the max. Okay, then NQ is not allowed. We display a method. We display a message that NQ is not possible because Q is full. Okay. But sometimes see here it seems that this is also here NQ is not possible because R is pointing to maximum element, but still we can make it possible by shifting elements here. How do we do that? Okay, it means while writing NQ, I have to get these two cases. Okay, I have to consider these two cases and write code for my NQ. Now let's detect. What I did here is wrong. Actually, it should be this empty case has to be detected for DQ, for deleting an element. Okay, so I remove it. So for NQing, I should ensure that Q is not full. When the Q is not full, if front is pointing to front is equal to 0 and rear is equal to max. So this is the situation which detects that Q is full. And we return from that. Now, there is possibility that a special case may happen where rear is equal to max, but front is not equal to 0. Okay, so if this is the case, of course, if will not be executed because it will be the body of if will be only executed if two conditions are true. If any one of them is false, then this if body will not be executed. So taking this advantage, we actually recognized. It means the body of if will not be executed if front is not pointing to 0 and rear is max, or rear is pointing to max. So this can be the situation, one of the situations. Actually, there are two possible situations. Front cannot be 0 and rear is not max. So actually, we in this code we have detected this two situations. Okay, this case B situation. Okay, suppose if front is 0 and rear is not max, then still NQ is possible. We have detected this situation. And if front is, for example, not 0 but rear is max, okay, then also if will not be executed. We have detected this situation. Okay, so now because of that condition, we know that Q is not full, NQ is possible, but how to make it possible? But again, in these two situations which we have scanned, now again I am worrying about whether in these two situations the case in hand is this case or not. Okay, now how can I clean that? How can I extract this case? So here again I will check that in if condition, okay, there are two chances here. For front, it can be 0 or it cannot be 0. Okay, so if it is 0 or if it cannot be 0, and rear, okay, it can be max or it cannot be max. Okay, now if I have written next condition, if rear is max, it means I am focusing on this situation. If rear is max, okay, irrespective of where front is. Okay, why? I am sure that front is not at 0. Why? Because I come to the next if condition only if front is 0. And here I am checking, rear is max. So in this way we come to this, situation. So let's do that. If rear is max, yeah. Now what to do? Here we have to find out the things. If rear is max, what do I have to do now? Here we have to write logic in such a way that all the elements which are vacant, which are behind F, has to be filled up. Now, it is only possible like this. So we have to write some code. See here. I want these elements to jump. How can I make? I'll write the situation here. Okay. Okay. Now I have to write one loop. I'll use this. How to write this? Let's try. For I is equal to front, I want from front to rear all the elements to be slided here in the array, so that these two rooms should be left vacant here. How can I do that? So for I is equal to front to I is less than rear, I plus plus, I have to write some operation here. Okay. So what is that operation? So this element I have to put where? At 0th location. Okay. So Q of this I minus front I can write. I is equivalent to front. Okay. Now here we'll have variables I, which is 2, and front is also 2. Now I goes on increasing. So I minus front 0. So first in 0th location, what has to be copied? Okay. Q of I has to be copied. What is Q of I? Q of 2. 30 has to be copied here. Okay. 30 will be copied here. When 30 gets copied, I will be incremented, of course. Okay. When I gets incremented to 3, then I minus front will be 1. Okay. Now it is 1. It means at this location, Q of I, which is Q of 3, will be copied. Okay. So what is Q of 3? 35. So 35 will be copied here. So this we copied, this is also we copied. It means they are available for overriding. Yeah, it's working. So 4, when I is 4, I minus 4 is 2. So in this 2, 40 will be copied. Okay. Yeah, 40 will be copied. And yeah, that's how we made these two cells free and we slided here. But after doing this, what I have to do is, I want front to point to 0, and rear, how rear should point? Where should rear point? Rear should point to here, na? Should point here. So this is working fine. So when I write Q of I minus front is equal to Q of I, then successfully we could able to slide all these elements towards left side. Now, and making two cells vacant here. But the problem here is rear and front positions have changed here, right? So now front has to be here and rear has to be here. Is it or not? Now how can I change it? Can I make it front is equal to 0? Yeah, front is equal to 0. Front should. Now rear has to point to 3. How rear points to 3? 5, 0. I want rear to point to 3, but it should be variable. I should write some formula so that earlier f is 2. Yeah, previous f was 2 and R was 5. 5 minus 2 is 3, it's giving. So before I write front is equal to 0, I'll write rear is equal to rear minus front. 5 minus 2 is 3. Yeah, I got this. Now front is equal to 0 always.